Tune in to the Real Estate Roundup with the River Counties Association of Realtors. Join us every last Thursday of the month at 12 p.m. on Fiesta 99.1 and every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. on the Mix 104.1 as we explore the latest in real estate. Whether you're buying, selling, or just love real estate, don't miss our expert advice and exclusive insights. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's explore the dynamic world of real estate in our vibrant River Counties community. Catch Real Estate Roundup and make your property dreams a reality. Welcome to the River County Association of Realtors Real Estate Roundup. And today our guest is Melissa Wiseman from Tellico Mountain Realty. Welcome, Melissa.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and today we're going to talk a little bit about your real estate life, but there's also a special cause near and dear to your heart, obviously, that we want to get this message out to everybody. And
Yes.
So hope our listeners gain some great insight here to what Melissa's going to talk about and step up to help. But Melissa, let's talk about a little recap of your real estate business in Tellico Plains first.
Yes. So I'm a broker owner in Tellico Plains. We're about an hour north of Cleveland here. We're in the beautiful Cherokee National Forest.
Right.
So we're kind of the slower, more remote alternative to like a Gatlinburg or a Pigeon Forge without the commercialism.
Sure.
But Tellico Plains is known for its hiking and outdoor recreation. So it's a great place to live. We're the place where you want to live, not because you have to live.
All right.
You want to live there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the scenery is definitely beautiful
Yes.
there, and like you say, it's just a little bit north of Cleveland here, but not too difficult to get to.
No, it's a wonderful drive.
And how long have you had your place there as far as business?
I have been in real estate 10 years.
Okay.
This is actually going on my 11th year. That I had bought the business, so it was already an established real estate company, but I did change the name. It was a different name, so we changed the name right after I purchased the building and the business.
Okay. Yeah.
But we're right there on the Cherahela Skyway, which is a scenic byway. We get a lot of motorcycles, car clubs.
Car clubs, yeah.
Yes, very popular.
Okay. So tell us a little bit then about personal life and your connection with real estate, with your family and everything. And let's talk a little bit about that, get everybody to understand everything and what we're going to be talking about here today.
So even though I've only been in real estate 10 years, I've been in the housing world 20 plus years.
Okay.
My husband's a builder. He's a licensed contractor. He builds homes, custom homes.
And the name of his company is?
CDM Homes.
Okay. All right.
And then we have two daughters, Dara and Mallory. Mallory's a sophomore in high school. She does not want to go into any real estate or building. She just doesn't want to go into that world. I've encouraged her. Maybe you should try architect or a surveyor, but she doesn't.
Sure.
She's not interested. Dara, on the other hand, she had an interest. Her goal was to go into law. She was going to become a lawyer, but she actually did a work study. This was her senior year, and she did a work study. So she would work in my office, and she did various things for me. But she had our plan. We already had kind of everything in motion. She'll be 18. She would have been 18 in March next month, and she was going to take the class. And then as soon as she graduated high school in May, she was going to take the real estate exam, so she was going to be getting into real estate, but her passion was to be into law. So I was going to encourage her maybe go into real estate law.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And getting everybody in the family business, yes, that's a great thing, but all of our children always look for something of their own too.
Right, yes.
So hearing that she wanted to get time into law is a great thing. And like you said, you could have gone into real estate law as well too.
Correct,
so,
yes.
So let's talk about what your cause is here and what you guys are looking to do as your family, and Dara's accomplishments in that, and what you're looking to have her memory live on, and kind of get our audience up to speed as to what our goal here is and your mission.
Right.
What we're looking at.
So again, Dara, she was a senior in high school. 3 months ago, we got the news that no parent ever wants.
Sure.
It was a beautiful Saturday afternoon. she come to me and said, I'm going to go out to eat with some friends. And about an hour later, we found out she was in an automobile accident, and she did not survive.
Sorry to hear that.
So our whole world just kind of stopped.
Sure.
It's been, very devastating. Dara, everybody thinks their kids are, exceptional.
Right.
Dara truly was. She was just all around good academically, athletically. She was just a good person.
Yeah.
So a lot of questions. It's like, why her?
Yep.
Why her? But to kind of give a little bit about Dara. So again, she was a senior in high school. Did very well academically.
Yeah.
Like I said, she was going to go into law. She was going to be starting college this fall, and she would have done it. I have no doubt. She would have went into law. She's always been very, academically. She was in the top of her class. She was on student council. She was even this year. We're in Monroe County, and they had started a youth Monroe leadership program.
Okay.
Which I have been through the Monroe leadership with my real estate, but you get to learn more about the county and how it functions. And this was a program for high school students. This is the first year that they had offered this. So she was selected because she did have a leadership capability. So she was in that. Like I said, she was top of her class. Straight A's, 4.0, just wonderful student. Couldn't ask for better.
Yeah.
A better student.
Yeah.
But where she kind of, I guess where her notoriety is in the athletics.
Athletics, yeah.
She was very humble about her, her accomplishments, and she didn't want her athletics to define solely on what she was, because she was just an all-around, just a wonderful young lady. But kind of to touch on the athletics, we always told, I've told both my daughters, I don't care what you do, as long as you do something. I don't care what, as long as you're doing something. So we tried various things. She's done, but both of them, we did the dance, gymnastics, took a stint with karate. She even did some swimming.
Okay.
Soccer, and then basketball. So she found a love for basketball. This is early on in the junior high years. And in sixth grade, her basketball season had ended, and at our school they did offer track and field.
Okay.
So she got involved with that. My husband had encouraged her to, get into the track, at least to keep yourself in shape. Sure. During the off season. So she ran that. I think her first event was a relay race. So she did well. I mean, we didn't know anything about this world,
right? The
track and field world. So we're completely green. Didn't know anything about it. So we didn't know about going to state championships. We didn't know anything. so that year progressed. So we didn't further. She just did a few, meets, and so that was fine. So she was excited. Of course, she went into basketball in her 7th grade year, and so she was excited for that spring to, get into track again, just to stay in shape. However, that was March of 2020. Okay. So we all know what happened then. Yep. So no track season, no track season that year.
Right.
But then she come back her 8th grade year, still playing basketball. But my husband had talked with the cross-country coach at the high school. So she's in 8th grade at this point. And he, a couple of the basketball girls, her and another girl, was able to train, at least run with the cross-country team. Sure. Just some extra benefit of staying in shape. And they did allow her to run like a home meet. Okay. Couldn't compete, of course, because she was not in high school yet, but she could run with them. And so, cross country, that is running a 5K, 3.1 miles. Yep. And the race that she ran in, she did very, very good for an 8th grader running against, high school. Sure. High school students. So So we kind of took notice, like, oh, maybe, you're kind of fast. Maybe, this is something we should pursue. And then that year, there's actually like middle school cross country, but she entered into a couple events for middle school and then got to go to the state championship in 8th grade for cross country. She did okay. I mean, again, we hadn't been training fully for that. So, all right. So we get to high school. Well, let me back up. So 8th grade year. So this kind of is what sets her in motion. So she did the cross country. Still in 8th grade year, that spring, she got back into track and field. They was back going. And she was doing more of maybe like the shorter distance, like a 400. So my husband had talked to the coach, since she'd already done the cross country, the kind of the longer distance, she should try the 800 meter.
Right.
Which is, for those not familiar, it's 2 laps around the track, a regular size track. She was not for that at first. She didn't want to go do that, but cause she wanted the shorter distance. But she got to running that and was very successful. And so we're learning more about the track and field world, and come to find out, there's state championships just like any other sport. So we got her up to the point where she got to qualify for the state championship. This is an 8th grade junior high, and she went. And she was, I think she was seated first or second. So she was, I think, seated first. Again, we're still green to this world. And you think, okay, they run. But actually, there's a lot of skill, mindset, a lot of strategy involved in running. It's just not going out and running. Right. So state championship, she's out there. She was leading the whole time except for we get to about the last 100 meters. And again, this is part where the strategy comes along. The girl behind her just kicked in and passed her. Right. So Dara comes in second, and that just devastates her. Yeah. She was just devastated. But that was a learning that gave her the drive. Right. It's like, okay, if I can figure out
how to position it.
Yes, learn more about the strategy, then so she wanted to pursue the track. So we get into high school. Of course, she does the cross country. Her freshman year, she qualifies for state. She gets to run in state. She did good. But then comes her freshman year of track and field. Right. So she had already come in second, in junior high. So she trained her freshman year. Did several meets, and fast forward, she did qualify for the state. Okay. This is in high school, so she's a freshman, which is very impressive. Sure. Because some of the girls are, a little older. They've been running for a while. Yeah. So she qualifies for 2 events: the 800, which is 2 laps around, and then the 3200, which is the 2 miles. So that is 8 laps on the track. So we get to the state championship. The 3200 was the first event. So she goes and runs. Probably about halfway through, she kind of stays with the pack, but then halfway through, she just leaves them. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't even a close. So she wins. So she wins her first state championship. Nice. As a freshman, was very impressive for her. So, so she'd already win that. So she already has her state championship, so which is amazing. And then her 800 event was not until later in the afternoon. So she had a lot of time to rest. But she goes into that one, and she was seated third, which is good because just being a freshman. Because I think the first and second seated girls were older. I know the one was a senior. Okay. So, all right, we're getting ready for that race. So she's seated third. They go around. She stays with the top girls, and then probably about the last 100 meters, where in 8th grade, the one girl got her and passed her. So I think Dara was running third. But the last 100 meters, she gets around the second place girl. So they're coming down the straight, and Dara's catching up really fast with the leader. So it's very exciting for us and her too. And just a few feet before the finish line, she passes.
Nice.
The first place girl. Nice. So she wins her second
meet of the day.
State championship. Yeah. So that was a very, very exciting race.
Yeah. I'm sure it made both of you proud.
Oh, very. And she, and that just motivated. I mean, that just excelled her.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where she started. And then after that season, we did. Again, she was still playing basketball, but then after that season, she won those 2 championships. She's like, forget about this. Forget about any other sports. This is my passion.
Yeah, nice. And
she loved to run. So we got her involved in some different running clubs. Actually, one here in Cleveland we started out with, the Cleveland Express.
Okay.
She would come down here. They did a summer track program, so she was able to do that. She was able to go to the AAU Olympics a couple of times, and then they had an indoor season, which is in the winter months, right. January and February. So she got to do that. So we get to her sophomore year, she runs cross country again, qualifies for state again, nice. And then track and field again. That spring for sophomore year, she qualifies this time for state for the 800 and the 1600, which is the mile.
Okay.
So that's only 4 laps around. It was very exciting for us, of course, to see her do well, but it was not. They were not close races. Right. she dominated. So it was great to see her win, but they were not as exciting as that official, initial 800 from her freshman year.
Sure.
Junior year, same. She did cross country, qualified for state. She wasn't a long distance runner.
Right.
She would do it, but she kind of learned to love the middle distance after her dad told her, do the 800, and she was against it. Now that become her absolute favorite. She's still doing the cross country. She did the indoor track again. She did end up with a running club out of Knoxville.
Okay.
Started running with them, the Knoxville Youth Athletics, and did some indoor and summer track with them. Junior year, she qualifies for state again. And we're in the small schools, Tellico, we're in the small schools division, but she qualifies again for the 800 and the 1600. Again, very exciting for us.
Sure.
It was not a very exciting race.
Right.
She kind of runs off and she wins both.
Yeah.
Again, 1600 and the 800. So at this point, she has 6 state championships.
Wow. Congratulations.
So that's very impressive, and just kind of give me a little bit. In Monroe County, she's the most decorated already, with the most championships, and she was the first female to ever in Monroe County win a championship.
Wow.
From any sport.
Yeah.
So she's already well decorated, with all her championships. So her senior year, she was so excited. Now we're thinking about colleges.
Sure.
A lot of colleges were reaching out to her, of course. And with the track and field, you can do the unofficial visits, but the official visits couldn't start till when school started in August. Right. And she went and visited a few. I know University of Memphis was looking at her. Actually here, Lee University was looking at her, and Tennessee Tech, and several others, but she wanted to stay in Tennessee, in the state. And so it come down to Lee and Tennessee Tech.
Okay.
Very, very hard choice. Both were very, very great schools, but she ultimately chose Tennessee Tech. So she had just committed to Tennessee Tech.
Yeah.
Was fixing to have her signing day, mid-November.
Okay.
While this is going on, we're still in cross country, so she qualified again for the cross country. So this would have been her 4th appearance at the cross country state championship. She was training for that one, and then the 1st of November is when her accident took place. The state TSSAA, they were very kind. Her accident was on a Saturday, and the championship was that following Thursday. But they were very kind to let us carry her jersey, her bib, her shoes. We wore a shirt. We had our shirts, so we were able to walk across the finish line for her.
I saw that on Facebook, and very, very touching moment, and just a great way to memorialize her and her passion and what she did. Very heart moving.
It was a lot, and she would have been on track. For this spring. Track hasn't started yet, but she would have been on track, possibly to win at least 2 more.
Sure.
A lot of the pressure was kind of taken off. She'd already committed to Tennessee Tech to run for them, and she would have been doing that this fall. So she was just going to have fun this track season.
It's great what you guys are doing, and we want to get into, obviously, the cause of what you guys are looking to do and asking the community to help out. And your husband's here. If you want to come on up here and you can join us in and add to what Melissa's going to talk about here with our last 5 minutes or so.
Goes by quick.
There you go. So tell everybody your name.
My name's Chris Wiseman.
Chris Wise. Okay, Chris. And so let's talk about what you guys are looking to do for your vision and your mission for memorializing, Dara's legacy here and what she's done.
So Dara had done all these accomplishments, and I kind of build up to this, but our high school does not have a track.
Okay.
No high school in Monroe County has a track,
right.
Which is, a real disservice. We had to come.
Sure.
We would come to Lee, or we've even come to Cleveland. She would go to Loudon County High School, McMinn Central. All the area counties were very generous, letting her, train. So no track whatsoever. But we haven't kind of, especially Chris, her dad, has kind of made it a mission to get a track built in her name, in her honor, to ensure her memory does live on.
Sure.
Yeah, kind of just building the legacy that she created while she was here. To reach out to future generations, and we've had a lot of kids come up and say, "Hey, I've started running because of your daughter." She gives individuals a chance to shine at something.
Sure.
So it's going to be a way for the youth to kind of live up and remember her and just
inspiration
and to strive for excellence. I mean, she put 110% into everything she did, academically, athletically.
Sure.
She made use of every second. And so if her memory, her inspiration can help someone else,
sure.
then it would be
her life wasn't in vain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's surprising a little bit to hear that, the lack of tracks, because you take someone as your daughter that was very passionate about it, where do you go, to keep yourself training and fit and everything, and it's just another obstacle, to overcome.
I mean, you get it's what they call a non-revenue bearing sport. It doesn't bring in the money like a basketball or a football or something like that. So we get it why it's kind of shuffled to the back. But it's a place where an individual can shine.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not a team player or not. Not saying she wasn't, but it's something. Hey, I can go out. If I do this on my own, I can train without having to worry about 2 or 3 other teammates.
Because it is a great community, the running world. Even though you're doing individually, everybody's all after a race, you're you're competitors, but everybody's telling you good job, great job, because a lot of it is not just winning a race, but your personal best.
Right.
Did you make your PR,
Sure.
your personal record?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of individual. Taking proud, an accomplishment.
Definitely. So how can the community get involved? What's your guys' best way for them to reach out and obviously help contribute to Dara's memory here and legacy?
So we have partnered with a running organization. It's called East Coast Adventures. And I just want to say everybody has just been really kind. We've already gotten several donations just from individuals, but we didn't realize. I mean, obviously she was wonderful to us.
Sure.
But we didn't realize just how many people she did.
That you touched. Yeah.
That she did touch. So this organization reached out to us and has been very generous. So we've partnered with them. So we're trying to raise money, raise the funds. Our goal is $500,000. Even if we can get part the way there, I think we can make it happen. But we do have a GoFundMe. We do have a Facebook page, running Memorial for Dara Wiseman.
Okay.
But we also have East Coast Adventures. They're a nonprofit, so they do they're a 501c3 nonprofit. Okay. So you can make donations, and it will go to the Dara Wiseman Memorial Fund. Okay. That will go to build a track at Tellico Plains High School.
So people are going to want to make sure that they designate that if they're going to contribute to go to Dara's Memorial Fund. Okay.
Yes.
And website or Facebook page, what's the best ways for everybody to kind of get the information and pass it on to their family and friends as well?
So the Facebook page, I was going to pull that up here. That we don't have a website, but you can Google or maybe East Coast Adventures. Sure. But on Facebook, it is the Running Memorial for Dara Wiseman.
Okay, Running Memorial for Dara Wiseman. Okay.
And all the information is on there for the GoFundMe. And I know some people don't want to do the GoFundMe, but we will have the letter and information if you wanted to just donate outside of internet or the GoFundMe.
Sure. And how has the school received all this? I mean, are they looking to obviously help promote this as well? I mean, where is our connection here with the schools and stuff too?
Yes. So we had already, met with the school board, but everybody's on board. Good. Director of schools, she's been wonderful to help us out. The county, the town, the town already. When you come into Tellico Plains, so if you ever get to visit at the city limits, they already have her sign, home of Dara Wiseman. So everybody's been on board. Everything is ready to go. We already have the plans, specifications. We're ready to make it happen. Just need the money. Yes, just need the money to make it happen. So everybody's been really, really generous to help us out.
Well, I can't imagine how difficult it's been, but also how endearing it is too that you guys are able to, have her legacy live on and touch others. And as you mentioned, it's the inspiration that she gave others that you just don't realize until, unfortunately, you hear about a tragedy and then all the people that got affected by her. And it sounds like obviously she was a wonderful daughter to you, and you guys seem to have a great family as well. And you guys seem very well grounded, and obviously she took her lead from her parents as well too. And so best way for people to reach out to you then is there an email you want them to call, or is email or call? What's another contact? They
can call us directly. The number is 423-261-4891.
Okay.
If you're close to Monroe County or Tellico Plains, we do have an account at Volunteer Federal Bank. So we do have an account there that they can donate to. Okay. But that is the best way to get in touch. Or find me, Melissa Wiseman, or Tellico Mountain Realty. You can find us either one of those and get in touch with us.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys being here, and with the River County Association of Realtors, we're going to push this out as well too and help you guys as much as we can.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you imagine a career with flexibility and limitless income potential? It's possible by becoming a realtor. The River County's Association of Realtors, located right here in Cleveland, Tennessee, is ready to help you unlock your potential. We're your go-to resource for guiding you to obtain your Tennessee real estate license. We're more than just realtors. We're a vital part of our community. Partnering with local charities, we work tirelessly to make a difference. Join the River County's Association of Realtors today, where your career can thrive and community can too. Visit rivercounties.com or call 423-476-5912. Your new path awaits.